Hey everybody, I'm so sorry that we are running behind. We had some technical difficulties. So if you are here, please let me know you're here. I am going live through StreamYard. So I'm not going to be able to see unless you have a StreamYard account. I'm not going to be able to see who's commenting. So if you do leave a comment, if you can leave me a comment and let me know who you are. I've also got Callista watching on Facebook. I do have some admin who are also on. I look a hot mess. I apologize. It doesn't show me anybody's on, Callista. So if you can let me know when people. So if you are here, turn the volume off. This will be available for playback. So if you are watching this right now, you are watching this on the playback. Okay, it says I've got one person. I think that's you, Callista.
Yeah, that'd be me. I don't see anyone else on here.
Okay. I'm going to try to give it a few more minutes for people to hop on and find us. I have my planner. I do have both planners combined into the big planner. So this is the pageant sewing planner and the business planner. Callista, can you share the live? Can you share that in the Facebook group? And if Sam hasn't already. So I do have the planner. Sam, if you're on, let me know if you're on. So this is the planner. This is what you're going to need tonight. Out of your planner in the sewing planner, you have the mood board. Let me open up to it. So you have a mind map, you have a mood board, you have your croquis, and you should also have your spec sheet. So I'm going to pull out my mind map. This is a mind map. This is a child croquis. I guess we'll go ahead. We'll pull out the timeline as well. Kathy, you found me. Okay. Yay, you found me. Okay. These are your mood board pages. So this is your mood board.
In the group or on the page?
In the group. I'm already on the page, so I need you to share the live from. Okay. Sorry, guys. We were having some technical difficulties tonight. Okay, so this is your child croquis. I was planning on having this already colored before tonight, and life happened, and I didn't. So we're going to kind of go over this, but this will kind of be a you on your own project. And this got wet because I just set it in water, but we're rolling with it because this is live. This is a mind map. So this is what we're going to start with. This is the mind map. And then I also have a timeline. So this is part of the business planner. So if you're sewing as a pageant designer, this is going to be in your business planner. I'm going to kind of touch on this. And then you're also going to need the spec sheet. This is in the pageant sewing planner.
Mariah's here too.
Yep, Mariah's here too. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I took all my pictures off the wall behind me. We're going to tape this to the wall. So hopefully you guys can read it. I printed the words out nice and big. So they're actually going to be bigger than my circles, but I wanted it to be big so you guys could read it. So let me tape this to my wall. Do you guys have your planners printed out? Do you guys have your sheets ready to go for tonight? If you do not have your sheets, get them printed while I get everything set up. You have time to get it printed. That's probably my phone with a notification of somebody.
6 people are on, but I can only see.
Okay. Yeah, I can only, I do see 6. Okay, so we are going to tape the mood board. If you're just now finding us, this is the mind map. So we're going to start with the mind map. So I'm going to tape this to the wall. Hopefully you guys can read it. I printed out the words nice and big instead of trying to write on it. I'm going to scoot you a little bit closer. If you get motion sickness, close your eyes because I'm scooting you closer. Okay, you have yours. Callista, can you hand me the one that says Disney Cruise on it? Can you cut that a little bit tinier so I can fit it?
I haven't
Because
finished
technically it's supposed to fit here.
that. I haven't finished that yet.
Okay.
I'm doing what I can.
So we are going to, actually, while you cut that out, I'm going to show what I'm making. Okay, so this is for an outfit that I've already done. So in case you missed the outfit that I've already done, we're doing the process that I used in order to make this outfit. So this was a Disney Cruise outfit that I made. So I'm going to show you my process of how I went from my brain onto paper, then from the mind map onto the mood board, onto a spec sheet, then into a timeline, and then into this. So that's what we're doing tonight. Okay. So our theme is Disney Cruise. You can pick any theme that you want. I'm just doing an outfit that I've already done so that it makes going through this whole mind map thing easier. Please don't copy this outfit. This outfit is already out there being used by Pageant Kids. Actually, a rental company has it. So please don't copy the outfit. You can take aspects of the outfit, but please don't actually copy the outfit. This is more about the process than making the exact outfit that I'm making. Okay, so going in the center, hopefully you guys can read that. I printed it nice and big.
That came out so cute.
Oh,
Sam.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so the theme is Disney Cruise. I have lipstick on my fingers. So if you guys see like red stuff popping up, I apologize. Okay, so the theme is Disney Cruise. So whatever your theme is goes in the center. It's very dark.
Yeah. My screen's very dark.
I have the lighting. Like I have the, is it dark for anybody else? Do I need to? Let me try this.
I mean, you see it, but it is dark.
All right. Well, let me try this. Maybe I will record this separately. I was trying to go live on the business page so I could record this, but that just, I think, made it worse.
Yeah, it didn't help.
Okay. Guys, I'm sorry. We're having technical difficulties tonight. We're gonna try to get through this. If you guys can read this, okay, let me know. Okay. Okay, these need to be cut down small. Okay. All right. So when you think of a Disney cruise, the first thing you think of is the characters behind the Disney cruise. So the first person who's going to come to mind is obviously Mickey Mouse. So in one of the bubbles, doesn't really matter which bubble, I'm going to put Mickey Mouse. Then the next, behind Mickey Mouse, obviously, who's the next person you think about? You're going to think about Minnie Mouse. So in these bubbles, so this bubble, I'm putting characters. So obviously, because these are printed really big, they're not going to fit in there. I would just write them in, but I wanted to print them big enough so you guys could see them. So hopefully you guys can see them okay.
She said it looks okay on my end.
Okay, good. All right, so then the next one I have is Donald Duck. So that's going to go in my circle with my character. So if your outfit isn't character, you don't have to do characters. So this is just when I think of Disney Cruise, the first thing I think about, the first thing that comes to my mind, we're just getting the idea out of your brain and onto paper. So when I think of Disney Cruise, the first thing I think about is the characters. So if the idea in your brain has no characters, then you're not going to use that space for characters. You're going to use it for whatever the first thing that comes to your mind is. Okay, the next character I think about after Donald is Daisy. And then, okay, Calista, if you can cut these squares for me next, please. And then the next characters aren't really going to fit in there, but we're going to try to squeeze them in, are Chip and Dale. So we're going to squeeze those in. Actually, I'm going to put them up top here just because they don't really fit. So we've got Chip and Dale, we've got Mickey, we've got Minnie, we've got Donald, we've got Daisy. I did have one for Goofy, but I don't really have room anyway. So we have our characters. You guys get the idea. I don't need to list out all the characters. So I've got my characters here. Okay, so then the next thing I think about when I think of a Disney cruise, so I work through this. So this is the first thing I do, Mariah. So this is, once I get a concept in my mind, this is going to be the first thing that I do. I get out my mind map and I'm going to work through this first. So that's why we're working through this process. Because then once I do the mind map, then I'm going to take these ideas and put it to the mood board. And then I go to my spec sheet. So before I even go buy fabric, before I do anything else, I'm going to go to my spec sheet, write everything that I'm going to need for my spec sheet. Then I go to the store once I have all of my ideas put together. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to look up pictures of the Disney cruise ship. So the first thing I think about for a Disney cruise ship is Disney Cruise Ship's logo. So if you're thinking of a show, like say you're thinking of like a character from a show, does that cartoon, does that movie, do they have a logo? Can you incorporate their logo? Is their logo something that you would look at? Is there something about that movie or that show that you could look at and say instantly, like, okay, I know exactly who that is? So logo. Oh, yeah, no problem. Okay, so then the next thing when I think about a cruise ship, I think about portholes. So you can see the little portholes right here on the boat. So when I think of a cruise ship, I think of portholes. So the portholes. And then the gold pinstriping, you can see the gold pinstriping. It actually has Mickey's head inside of that gold pinstriping. Obviously, you can't really see it in this teeny tiny little picture. But I will Google pictures of whatever it is that I'm looking for. I will Google pictures. I will zoom in and I will look at the details. I try to find any fine details. If I'm replicating an outfit, I will zoom in and I will try to find the intricate details of that outfit that I can replicate it. So pinstriping, since they have that gold pinstriping on the boat and other cruise ships don't have that with Mickey's head in it, I'm going to put pinstriping. Okay, then the next thing when you think of a Disney cruise is you're going to think of the colors. So their branding colors are, obviously it looks black in this lighting, but this is navy. So red, white, and blue. So then in one of these little bubbles, I'm running out of room for big bubbles, so we'll put it down here. I'm going to put red, white, and blue. So this outfit works for Disney wear, but it'll also work for red, white, and blue wear in the summertime. So when I made this in like June for red, white, and blue wear, but also for Disney wear. So colors. What colors are, if you're thinking of a character or a movie, what colors do you think of when you think of that character or that movie? If you pull up pictures of that show, that movie, whatever, what are the colors that it makes you think of? So when I pull up the Disney cruise ship, I think of red, white, and blue because that's the colors of the boat. Anybody commenting? I'm like trying to tape at the same time. Nothing. Okay. You guys feel free to talk and give feedback too. So like if you guys have any questions or whatever, go ahead and ask those questions as I'm putting them together. So far, things I think about when I think of a Disney cruise ship, I think of the characters. So Chip, Dale, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and then Goofy's on the table somewhere over there. I think of the logo. I think of the portholes on the boat. And I think of the iconic pinstriping, the gold pinstriping on a Disney cruise ship. So I try to pay attention to the fine details. Some people might miss that gold pinstriping. But if you try to pay attention, here's Goofy. We're going to throw Goofy over here. Some people might miss that gold pinstriping. But I want you guys, this is the process where you're going to go through and you're going to scrutinize and you're going to pay attention to the fine details as you're thinking about these outfits. That's the whole point of why we do this, because I really want to tap into your creativity and I want you guys to pull out ideas that you may not have thought about until you put it onto paper. Okay. So then the next thing I think about when I think about a cruise ship is I think about the captain of the boat. They have Captain Mickey on the boat, but then they also obviously have the true cruise ship captain. But I think about a captain of the cruise ship. So we'll put captain over here. And then when I think about a cruise ship captain, it makes me think of a sailor. When I'm trying to think outfit wise, how can I tie a captain in outfit wise? Makes me think of a sailor. So then you can go in and you can fill in some of these other bubbles. So if I try to put this all together, now I'm going to try to take some of these ideas. Okay, so we have the colors red, white, and blue. That means it would work for Disney wear. It's going to work for patriotic wear. So I could then fill that in one of these bubbles over here. So I could put Disney wear, patriotic wear. I could then, also it would work for nautical wear. If you needed a nautical wear, I would probably put in one of the bubbles that nautical wear. Then I'm going to think about elements of the outfit. What do I have in mind? And none of these things that you put on here, you don't have to, you're just getting these ideas out of your head. You don't have to, if you put it on that paper, it doesn't have to come to fruition. Oh, Calista, you cut this apart. It was supposed to be one word. Tearaway skirt was supposed to be one word, but that's okay. I'll tape it together. Actually, can you tape it together while I pin this up? Can you tape that together? Okay, so when I think of the sailor outfit,
Oh, wait, those were separate to begin with.
were they? They should have been one word.
It was like
Or one.
It was like that.
It
was like
it shouldn't have been. I'm sorry.
I can though.
Okay, thank you. So I think about a baby doll.
It's not great, but it's enough.
Okay, can I have the tape back so I can? Okay, so when I think about a baby doll, because that's going to give me a ton of room to fit a ton of characters, because I can do a lot of things with embroidery on the skirt if I do a baby doll, because you have a ton of space on that skirt of that baby doll. So how can I take that baby doll and make it fit into the theme? Well, one of the things that I can do to make that baby doll fit into that theme is I can add a sailor collar. So if I add a collar, it now ties in that theme. Another thing that I can do is I can do a pair of sailor shorts. By the way, spoiler alert, that is coming. That is one of the patterns that I have coming. So I can do a pair of sailor shorts to make it fit the theme. But wait a minute, I just said it was a baby doll dress. Well, if I have a baby doll dress and I make a pair of sailor shorts, you aren't going to see them. So how do I make it so that you're going to be able to see those sailor shorts? Well, I make the skirt tear away. So the skirt on that dress tore away so that you can see the sailor shorts underneath. It ended my stream. Am I still live?
You're on live on Facebook still.
Okay, because on my end, it said my stream ended. That's weird. Okay.
As of right now, you're still on. I see you pointing at sailor shorts.
Okay, cool.
Behind, but.
Okay. All right, so underneath this, well, to the side of this, you can still see that kind of. We're going to move this down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to need you to read because it's showing me that the stream ended on my thing.
That's fine.
Can you read any comments if there are?
There's nothing new.
Okay. Okay, so are we with me so far? Does everybody understand how the mind map works? You can take any of these bubbles if you have any other ideas. So basically you're grouping in these bubbles, you're grouping like things together. So I'm grouping the design of the boat. This is the design of the boat, the logo, the portholes, the pinstriping. Oh, wait, there's actually
Carrie
should be.
Said I still have you.
Okay, cool, Carrie. Thank you. Okay, there should also be one that said the smokestacks. I guess I forgot to type that out.
It was not there.
Okay, I forgot to type that out, so it didn't get cut out. But also the smokestacks on the boat that have the logo on the smokestacks, those are red. So this should also have smokestacks on there. But the shape of the boat, the design of the boat, the characters that you think about when you think of a Disney cruise, then you have the colors of the boat. What do you think about when you are thinking about the outfit? What emotions does it evoke? What design ideas does it evoke? So like a captain or a sailor. And then how do I put all that together? I have a baby doll. How do I make the baby doll tie in? I use a sailor collar. I use sailor shorts. Well, if I use the sailor shorts, you aren't going to see them underneath the baby doll. So I make the skirt tear away. Does that make sense? Or do I need to explain it for anybody else? Let me know, because I want to make sure before I move on that everybody understands the mind map process before I move on. If you did this when you were in elementary school, you probably did this for like writing assignments where you would do your theme for your writing assignment and then you would group like things together for your paragraphs. It's very similar. Okay, give me a thumbs up or let me know something. Give me a comment. Let me know you guys understand before we move on. And if you do not have these sheets, these are part of our planner. So this is from the sewing planner. And then there's also, if you are a pageant designer, I do have the pageant designer planner available too. But to get these pages, this is just from the pageant sewing planner. If you do if you do the sewing business planner, it has the pageant sewing planner as a part of it. So you get the 21 pages from the pageant sewing planner, and you get 19 additional pages that are specifically made for designers.
I'm going to use this when negotiating with my toddler. Kidding, I'm following Mariah. Amanda gave a thumbs up.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Sam, are you still on? Can you do me a favor and link to the planners in case anybody needs information on the planners? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm now going to search the internet. I've already held this picture up. You've already seen this, but this is the cruise ship. So I'm going to add the cruise ship onto the mood board. Here is a close-up picture of that pinstriping. So I'm going to put that on the mood board down here. So I went fabric shopping. I'm going to need scissors. I'm going to hand this back to you in a second. But I went fabric shopping. Now, I could have gone and got Disney fabric, but this is what I found at Hobby Lobby. So it's red, white, and blue. It's nautical. So I use this on the puff sleeve of the outfit. Can you cut me just a square of that? I didn't use very much of this, but I did use this on shoes. These are Mickey heads. I found blue nautical ribbon. Can you cut all these pieces that I'm talking about? We'll just tape it up there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the scraps of my fabric, anything that I think I can throw together to make this cohesive. If I'm shopping online before I even go out and purchase fabric, some of this stuff just comes from my stash. So if I have it down in my stash, I'm just going to grab it and cut off the square. But if I'm shopping online, if I say I'm looking on Hobby Lobby, I'll just print out a picture just like I did here. And I'll just tape the picture of that fabric to my mood board. You don't have to go out and get the fabric before you've put all your thoughts together. Stick this up under here.
Kathy said, let me know how that works for you, Mariah. Never worked for me. Won't work for sassy little grandmaster.
Okay, so then this is way too big. I could tape it on here, but, well, I guess this piece is broken. Can you cut this?
I'm learning to try these days.
Can you cut this like broken piece off for me? Just a little bit of it. So I found this gold trim. Oh.
Almost bought the red Mickey pattern today for a bow. So cute.
Okay, can you guys see how like the swirls on this gold trim, how it mimics the swirls on the pinstriping for the boat? So I tried to match it as close as I could. Okay. Then the next thing is we have the characters. So you can't have a Disney cruise without the characters. And if you look, Mickey's wearing a captain's hat. We have the red, white, and blue logo. And I'm going to put that over here. That ties in with everything over here. And then we have portholes. When I think of a Disney cruise ship, I think of portholes. And when you go into the rooms, if you have an interior room, your porthole will have the little characters, like the little paintings of the characters in your porthole. I wanted to try to incorporate a steering wheel onto my design. You'll see I ended up going another direction, but I was thinking about doing a steering wheel design with like the characters in the middle or something, or like a logo in the middle of it. So I printed this out. Didn't end up going with it. So I'm going to tape this on here and show you that not all the designs, like this is just to get out of your brain and onto paper so that you can have it to reference it. So we've already kind of covered trim. So the next thing, once I get everything out, okay, I'm going to use this for my fabric. I'm going to use this for my fabric. And then what other fabrics can I use? So this is neoprene, also called scuba. So this is what's going to give me the stretch. So when I do my sailor shorts and my top, the stretchy aspects of it are going to be made with neoprene. Can you cut me a tiny piece of that? I found socks at Target. These are little knee-high socks at Target. They came in a 2-pack. So I ended up with 2 pairs of socks. And I actually use a gift certificate, so these didn't cost me anything. So I already have those sitting here. Okay, then what is my skirt going to be made out of? So if you look at the boat, you have blue on the bottom, you have gold on the bottom, you have gold here, you have gold here, and then your little lifeboats are gold. Then you have white, and then your smokestacks are red. So I don't have the blue, so pretend I brought the blue fabric up. I don't think I had any more blue left over. So I have white for my skirt, and then I'm going to do a blue ruffle underneath for my baby doll. I'm going to do the blue ruffle underneath. I just did a solid navy. I matched that navy there for my underskirt. So you can see that there are layers to this, and my skirt has layers.
Did you hear me about Mariah's comment?
About her daughter?
No, I almost bought the red Mickey pattern today for a bow.
Oh, actually, I have a ton of it. This did not stick because I didn't put the tape on the right way. But you can see the logo with the Mickey head works well with that red fabric. All right, let's tape this back up. Okay, so I didn't end up, I'm just going to show you, except I don't have an up close picture. I forgot to print that out, or did I? No, I didn't. Okay, so here are my ruffles. I did navy ruffles. And then because I wanted the pops of gold that I used, well, you can kind of see it here, that trim on the edge here, I brought the gold down into my ruffles. And instead of doing like a navy color thread, I did my ruffles with a fishing line encased in gold thread. Okay, so now that we've got our fabric figured out, we've got our trim sort of figured out. Now let's think of what other trims that we are going to need. So this is black. This is not navy, but we're going to pretend, because I don't have any more navy here. The one I have is really, really thin. So we're going to pretend. Put on your imagination caps. So I need bias tape for around the sailor collar. So this is this is black, but we're going to pretend it's navy bias tape. So I would cut off a piece of the bias tape and I would add it on here. Calista, can you cut me a piece of this work rack trim here? Just a little piece. I don't need very much. Okay. And then I have a sparkly white rickrack that I can put onto the red. And then if I do a white bias tape, I could also put a white bias tape onto the red scuba for the sailor shorts. I have gold buttons. Don't know where they are, but I went and got gold sailor buttons. So I would put buttons, if you search for them on Amazon, just take a picture of them, put your ideas on here. I just throw everything into my cart on Amazon, take the pictures, print it, put everything together. And then once I do my spec sheet, I'll buy it. So I bought gold buttons on Amazon. Now, okay, what kind of accents do I want to add to this so that it really brings in the Disney aspect of it? Well, I said I wanted portholes. Obviously, this is way too big, but this is a skirt that I started on when I started making it. It's very wrinkly. It was in a bin, but he was a little off center, so I had to start over. But I embroidered Mickey. I embroidered all the characters in the portholes going all the way around the skirt. So that's one aspect of it. I also did an embroidered logo on the back of the sailor collar. So I have that on the sailor collar. Then I did the front of the cruise ship with one of the names of one of the cruise ship. I think I did Dream. So I did that on the front. And then I also did these little anchors with Minnie Mouse for the shoes. And then you can see the buttons there. And the little bows on the backs of the shoes have the buttons on them as well. Is this making sense? Am I making sense for you guys? Are you guys following along in how this process works?
A bit behind on mine.
Okay.
Yes, hand over the word.
Okay. So here is that skirt with the portholes. The portholes went all the way around the skirt. Here's more of that gold pinstriping. And then I went with Dream. And then I also had, I forgot that I had this and should have brought this up, but I also had gold rope that I tied in some gold rope because when I think of nautical, I think of rope. I did the navy bias tape. You can see here on the sailor collar. And then I have the bow as my closure for my sailor collar on the front. And then along the edge is where I have the rope. Up on the sailor hat, I have the rope. I have the navy bias tape and then the anchor with Minnie Mouse. I also did, if they didn't want to do the sailor hat, I also embroidered a captain's hat on a headband as well. When the skirt tears away, you have the sailor shorts with the button, white bias tape, and gold ribbon. You can see on the sleeves where I used the rickrack on the sleeve. And then you can also see up around the neckline here, I use the bias tape around the neckline. So before I get into making it, what I'm going to do is I would take my croquis. This is called a croquis. I'm going to sit down at this point. I don't need to stand anymore. So I'm going to sit. Hi. Okay. So I'm going to take all of those ideas or any ideas that I like. If I don't like it, I can either pull it off because I just taped it, or I can just put an X through it because I don't need that idea anymore if I feel like it's not cohesive. So then the next thing I would do is I would pull out my croquis. These are called croquis. It is a French term, but this is your base. I have in the planner, there is an adult size croquis and there's a child size croquis. Front and back. So you would draw the front of the outfit and whatever the back. So like if you wanted details on the sailor collar, the embroidery design would go obviously on the back side. I wanted to draw this out, but I'll be honest, today was just kind of a mess. So I didn't get to sketch this out, but your idea would go on to your croquis. So if you wanted to do a baby doll, you're going to sketch out a baby doll. If you wanted to do the sailor collar, the baby doll with the sailor collar, you're going to sketch out your baby doll with your sailor collar. And then on the back side, you would put the details of your collar. If you wanted to do socks, knee-high socks with bows, they have arms and legs. They have heads, so you can draw in hats. You can draw in socks. You can draw in shoes. You could also take the back. If you need more room, you can draw on the back as well. So that's where you're going to get all of your ideas from here. You're going to then sketch them out onto your croquis. After you've sketched it out onto your croquis, you're going to grab your project spec sheet. So when you work in the fashion industry, this would generally not just be for one outfit. This would be for a collection of outfits. So if you were working on bridesmaids dresses and you wanted to create a collection of bridesmaids dresses, you would come up with a theme for those bridesmaids dresses, and then you would go around and essentially do the same thing, but it would be for a collection. Same thing with your mood board. Generally, they're used for collections, but for us, we're just going to use it for one outfit. So this is called a project spec sheet. When you are taking this to go shopping, you are going to have all of your information on here before you leave the house. You are going to have everything mapped out for you so that you're not like, oh, oops, I forgot I didn't buy enough fabric, or oops, I bought too much fabric. I feel like I look orange.
It's dark on mine.
Is it? Okay, because I feel like I look very orange. Okay, so you're going to write in the project. So in this case, like I would just give it like a nickname. So this would be Disney Cruise OOC, and then the budget. So like if I made this as a ready to ship, but if the customer has a budget, then their budget goes here. Start date and due date. So mine was a ready to ship. Mine didn't really have a due date. Obviously, I gave myself a due date because it needed to be done and finished so I could post it. But if you're doing this for your child, then you would write your child's pageant date here or whenever you set a deadline for yourself. Then what patterns are you going to use? So that's another thing. Obviously, I don't have line art for these patterns yet because they haven't been launched. But what you can also do is when there is a line art piece for my patterns, you can take the line art and you could cut out the line art for the sailor collar pattern, and the sailor collar and the sailor shorts are going to come together in a pattern. And then the baby doll dress, when I launched the baby doll dress, this one would be the it would be the baby doll and it would be the sailor collar and sailor shorts. So it would be two different patterns. So on here, I give you a space to write, pretty big space to write in what patterns you're using. You've got 2 lines to write in what patterns you're using. You have a contact. So if you're doing this for a customer, you have the customer's contact information over here. If you have fabric swatches, or if you go on to Hobby Lobby or Joann's or whatever, and you know what fabric you want and you don't particularly have the fabric swatch. Now, say I'm pulling this out of my stash, I would cut off pieces and I would just stick those pieces on here. If I'm going shopping, I'm going to go online and I'm going to look online before I leave the house to go to the store. Or if I'm looking online and I order something, I'm going to print off whatever I ordered. I'm going to print that off and stick them in these spaces here for swatches. I'm going to print off the swatch picture and put those in here. Does that make sense for you guys? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So rather than like having the fabric, you would just put the picture, or you can go from your stash and cut out a piece and just put that in there.
Mariah said so excited for all these patterns that are coming.
Oh yeah, me too. I just need to get them done. I'm working on it, I promise. So the supplies, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your patterns and you're going to see what supplies you need. So you're going to go down your list for each pattern. How much material do you need for each portion of that pattern? So for your cupcake skirt portion of your baby doll, if you're using different pieces of fabric, what do you need for your lining? What do you need for your facing? What do you need for your ruffles? So I would write that down. For my bodice, what do I need for my bodice? What material am I using for my bodice? So if I'm using neoprene for my bodice, how much neoprene do I need for my bodice? For the puff sleeves, how much fabric do I need for the puff sleeves? What fabric am I using for the puff sleeves? I used that fabric. Because I made the baby doll a tearaway, I made a waistband, and I made the waistband using this. So how much fabric do I need for the waistband? So I'll write all that in. For the sailor collar and for the facing piece of the skirt, I used white cotton. How much white cotton do I need? Buttons, trims, any closures, like any of the notions that I need. I have an area down here to write in your notions. So that's your closures, your Velcro, stuff like that goes in under your notions. And then for supplies, if you run out of room, so like typically on this side here, I'm going to write in my fabric supplies, anything that I need to buy at the store. You can also, on the back, if you'd like, you can write out embroidery designs. So if you digitize your own designs, you can write out what designs you need to digitize and pull those files, and then what folder you've put those designs into. If you buy your files, either if you haven't already purchased them, where you found them, if you have them in a cart, how much they are, just to kind of give yourself an idea of the designs that are out there that you want to use on this outfit.
Sam said, love how friendly this is for my ADHD brain. Kathy said, I have to log off here, and if you can catch this later to watch the rest. Darn day job with a 5:49 a.m. pickup.
Yes, Kathy, you can watch it later. It's going to stay on the business page. I'm also recording this right now, but I'm not sure if it stayed recording because on my end it says ended. So if it ended, then I'm going to go through, re-record this in a more professional way, and I'm going to also upload this onto YouTube. So there's 2 ways that you can watch it. The plan was for me to record this and then take the recording and throw it onto YouTube.
It's still on.
Okay.
And then Caitlin her said, "Hello, gremlins are finally asleep."
Hi, Caitlin. Okay, so Sam, yes. So this is the planner that I needed when I was a designer to help get everything out of my head and onto paper, because I would go to the store and I would have ideas. And then like halfway through, I would like veer and go into left field and like be like, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be so cool if we did this, that, and the other? Or I wouldn't get enough stuff because I got distracted by the shiny pretty thing at Joann's, and oops, I forgot my notions. So I had to go back to the store and go get my notions. So essentially it's a shopping list, but it's keeping everything all together. And so if you're combining 2 patterns, rather than bringing the whole instruction manual for the patterns and how much do you need for this piece and that piece, you're just writing it onto one sheet and you bring this one sheet to the store with you. So I made the planner that I needed when I was a designer.
This is already professional, very user-friendly.
Oh,
I've seen my fabric hoard.
Who said that?
Sam.
Oh, thanks, Sam.
Amanda, I'm excited for the patterns too.
Oh, thanks, Amanda. Okay, so this is a part of the business planner. This is the timeline. So if you are a designer and you're trying to keep everything on to a timeline so that you aren't, messing things up for the next person behind, if you have the business planner, this is the timeline for the business planner. So you can just kind of follow the steps of the business planner.
Always purchase double on fabric with the plan to cover screw-ups.
Yeah, I might do that, and I might have a ridiculous stash downstairs, which is why I still have this fabric left over from June when I made this outfit. May, I think I made it at the end of May, actually. Okay, so I'm going to pull my planner over here really quick. So if you have the measurements, this is the measurement form. This is from the business planner. So if you have the sewing business planner, this is in your sewing. No, this is in your regular planner too. Just kidding. This is in your regular planner too. So if you want to write down your kids' measurements, you have your measurement form. So I would compare the measurements to the pattern and math it out for this section to figure out how much fabric you need. Okay, so after you've done your spec sheet, after you've done your croquis, now we're going to get into buying everything, making sure you have everything you need. I didn't print out all the pictures for this outfit because this outfit had a ton of pieces. But we're going to pretend that I have everything here. Now I've shown the outfit in bits and pieces, but now I'm going to kind of put it all together so that you guys can see what it looks like all together. I'm missing a picture of the captain's hat that I embroidered, and I'm missing a picture of the back of it. So just pretend. If you want to know what it looks like on my personal Facebook page, I do have pictures of this when I listed it up for sale. So we had a pair of shoes. I ended up making a second pair of shoes. We have socks. We have the skirt with the portholes going all the way around. So I did Mickey, Minnie, Daisy and Donald, and then I did Chip and Dale on the back side of the skirt. For another embroidery piece, I have the cruise ship. And by the way, did not notice this until after I shipped this outfit out. my bow is upside down. Pay attention. Don't make your bows upside down because my OCD brain can't handle this and I just want to turn it. So in my mind, if you're looking at this and you're looking at the picture behind me, so the bottom of the cruise ship is navy. So the bottom of my skirt, which is my ruffles, is navy with gold trim, just like the boat. Then I have my white level is the next level on the boat. So you have white there. And on the white level is where the portholes are. And as a transition between the navy and the white, you have the gold trim. Obviously, like this wouldn't make sense for me to put it right at the edge. So I put it just at the edge of the white to mimic this gold pinstriping. So I've got my portholes, and then I've got my bodice, to me, looked like the smokestacks. There,
My printer would never give me beautiful color like that. You did an amazing job on this OOC.
Thank you. I fought with my printer. Not gonna lie to you, it's a brand new printer and I hate it. It's one of those EcoTank ones, and it kept putting lines through my printing. Okay, so do you see the smokestacks on the boat? And do you see how it went from red top down? So like if we're looking top down, the smokestacks are red. The main portion of the boat is white, and then the under section is blue. So my smokestack is red, which is the bodice. Then we have the main portion is white, which is my skirt, and then my ruffles are blue. And then I've got my hat. So I did 2 hats to go with this outfit. I embroidered a captain's hat, and then I did this piece of embroidery to go on the sailor's hat. And I put it slightly askew. So it's not straight up and down. When you put stuff like this, it adds visual interest instead of just slapping it smack dab in the middle of the head. If you put it off to the side and then angle it, it adds a visual interest. So I bought a sailor hat. I didn't make the sailor hat. Could I? Yes. But is it cheaper for me to just buy one pre-made off of Amazon and decorate it? Also, yes. So this is not a hat I made. This is a hat I decorated.
This is stunning.
Thank you. Okay, so then here is the trim to mimic that gold pinstriping right here where my middle finger is, to mimic that gold pinstriping. So this is what I'm saying. Like I do this. When you do this, this helps you to pay attention to the details. I want you to look at pictures and I want you to pull out the fine details. Like I want you to pull out the fine details like the pinstriping. I want you to pull out the fine details like the porthole. I want you to pull out the fine details like the Disney Cruise logo. I want you to pull out the fine details of the order: red, white, blue. The underlayer is blue with like a gold trim at the bottom. So my underlayer is blue with a gold trim at the bottom. I have the pinstriping. I have the portholes. My bodice is red. Okay.
Beautiful.
So rather than doing blue, I wanted that pop of gold. So I didn't match it. I made it pop by using gold thread. So those are my under ruffles. I went with Dream. I could have done any of the cruise ships, but I went with Dream. And again, this is a close-up. You can see my bow is upside down. But I've got the logo on the smokestack. You've got the navy blue, which is the same color as my under ruffles. I've got the gold. And then I went and rhinestoned around this, and I alternated for dimension. Every other stone is you've got crystal AB, crystal AB, crystal AB going all the way around the embroidery. for visual interest to add some pops of white, because up here you can see there are like pops of white up here. So I did the rickrack here and I did the rickrack here, and then I just stoned it every other. And then you can see inside the steering wheel thing, I added a blue stone. So it's tone on tone. I don't think you can really see it, but like in the red, I did red stones up here. There are the shoes. So the shoes are an anchor with Minnie's head in it, red, white, and blue. I used the same bias tape that I used on the bodice for the hat and for the collar. I used that on the shoes, and then I did the same thing. Every other is a crystal or a blue. I used the rope, and then I used red rickrack, and I used those same buttons on the shoes, on the bows to the socks. And then here is after you remove the skirt. So I've got that anchor again here. I've got buttons here, and the rope with white bias tape. So do you see how this turned into this? I know. I'm going to call it after, as soon as we get done here. I'm going to. Have they replied? No. Okay.
But it's just now getting to the part where you're asking.
Okay. Oh, we got people hopping off and hopping back on. The next thing I would do after I did my spec sheet is I would go in and I would do my daily planner, and I would fill in on the daily planner how many hours I think each portion of it is going to take. So for the embroidery, I think I counted there were 18 pieces of embroidery. What's wrong?
I love everything about it. Such a great way to organize ideas. Yes, well planned out.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So I think I counted there were 18 pieces of embroidery on that outfit. I don't remember because I made it in like May, into May, June. So I think there are 18 pieces. So, oh, now I can see comments. The comments disappeared, but now I can see comments. Thank you. Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Sam. So what I did was I planned out time for each piece of embroidery. While the embroidery machine was running, I worked on a different outfit. So I had 2 outfits going at one time. So that's another reason why doing this, if I'm working on multiple things, keeps my head organized, so that if I'm bouncing back and forth from projects, I have my spec sheet, I have my plans, I have my sketch, so I can just look at it and go, oh, that's right, that's what that's supposed to look like. So I'm giving you guys homework. My homework for you guys is I want you guys to complete a mind map, a mood board, and a croquis with an idea of your own. Please don't use mine because that outfit already exists. It is with a rental company, so it is still currently in use, and I would rather not have that outfit copied. But I would like for you guys to come up with ideas of your own. Put your ideas together between these 3 sheets. And I would like you guys to take a picture and post it in the group. Now that there are 6 people, you guys have been hanging on. So I have something that I haven't told you guys. So I have an announcement. We are getting a new website. I've had a lot of website issues, and the guy who built my last website kind of scammed me. And long story short, there's a code that you have to put in on the back end when my website was built. It was like a paid thing.
Will it be graded?
Will it be graded? I don't know, Kathy. I might. No, there might be prizes though. So that's where I'm going with this. So I'm getting a new website, and so I am taking time away from working on patterns to work on the website, but we have a product line coming for us. I've been working with a manufacturer, and I am developing some products for you guys that are things that I find helpful in the sewing room, or things that like I want. So if I want it, I'm having it made, and then I'm going to make it available for you guys as well. So we're going to be throwing a really big party coming up with the launch of the new website. I'm hoping to at least have one pattern done. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes, because I've been working a lot with the website. So grab your accountability partner.
I need my accountability.
Mariah, were you in my brain? Grab your accountability partner and work with your accountability partner. Let them know that you guys have homework. And then if you guys would like to take a picture of your work, if it is an idea that you aren't comfortable, like your sketch, you don't want to share your sketch, even if you want to take a picture of like your mind map, and maybe you don't do the whole mood board thing, but like you do the mind map and you take a picture of that. I would love to see all of it put together, just so like I can see like how you went from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. But if it's an idea you don't feel comfortable sharing, I absolutely respect that. I don't want to push you guys to do anything that you're uncomfortable with. But that is your homework, and be on the lookout, because we are going to be throwing a really big party for the launch of the website, and I'm really excited. The new website is, we are rebranding. It essentially was just as easy to start over as it was for the new website guy to fix the existing website, and rather than have downtime for him to fix it, we're just rebranding. And the new rebrand is going to be called Pageant Patterns. So my new website is not available yet, so please don't go to it. But my new website is pageantpatterns.com. So we are going to be getting away from Supreme Sewing School, and the focus is now going to be pageant patterns. So I'm really excited for the rebrand. I'm excited for the new website. Hopefully I can have a launch that isn't a giant pain in my butt. But I hope you guys are just as excited for the launch of the new website. Kathy, you're not in trouble. You guys are going to do great. Okay, it is 10 o'clock. I still have not eaten dinner. Callista was up at 5 this morning, and she looks like she's about to fall asleep. She looks like she's about to fall asleep across the table from me, and she has to be back up at 5 o'clock again, and told me she wasn't staying up until 10 to help me this time. And it's past 10. So if you guys don't have any questions, Callista, I can read the comments if you want to just go ahead.
I need to back up.
Okay.
Computer for tomorrow.
Yay, Amanda. Yeah, thank you, Amanda. I'm excited. If you guys have any questions, now that I can actually read the comments again, let me know if you guys have any questions about this whole process.
I need to bring my computer. After I get out, I have to go let Chester out tomorrow.
Good night, sweetheart. All right. Well, I know we're on a bit of a lag, so I'm going to give it just a minute. You're welcome, Amanda. I'm going to give it just a minute in case you guys have any questions. No, we got this. You're right. You guys got this. Kathy, you got this? You feel like you got this? I know you got to get up in the morning, so I will let you go to bed, and I'm going to eat dinner. All right. Well, I think everybody's good because I'm seeing people hop off. Confession time. I have no clue what an OOC is, literally. Okay, so Kathy, OOC stands for outfit of choice. I apologize. I assume that everybody knows that, but I should stop assuming things. So outfit of choice is literally an outfit that displays the child's personality. So a lot of times we just reuse outfits because some pageants have themed wear. So there are times like Callista, when she was little, we did a Disney pageant and they had a theme wear called Disney wear. So everybody else showed up as Minnie Mouse, Tinkerbell, Disney princesses. My kid was the dead bride from the Haunted Mansion. That was her Disney wear, and she actually ended up winning really big. But then we reused that for her OOC. We also would reuse that. She did that for a pageant. Even recently, we remade the outfit, and that was her Halloween outfit. But OOC is just an outfit that shows the child's personality. Kathy, you can do this. It doesn't have to be for an OOC. You can do this with dresses too. So if you mind map out a dress, I just did OOC because for me, an OOC is easier to like visualize, like with like tying a whole bunch of ideas together. But you can absolutely do this with dresses too. If you take concepts from like bridal, if you like I did a dress, I did like a Disney princess inspired dress, and the collar, I did a big stand-up collar, and my collar was a crown. It was literally shaped like a crown. So when the kid turned around in the back, it was subliminal messaging that give me that collar, baby. So you can do this, you can do it with dresses. It doesn't have to be an outfit of choice. It just, for me, was easier for me to represent an outfit of choice in like picture form than like for me to do a dress. Yeah, Kathy, it's a lot less work. But like I said, for me to try to explain all this, I figured this was a lot easier for me to kind of map everything out as like paying attention to like the cruise ship and looking at the details of the cruise ship. I look like an Oompa Loompa. This lighting is really bad tonight. I look orange. Okay, I have a dog pacing at the door. I'm going to go run, let my dog out, and I'm going to come back and check if there's any questions. If not, when I come back, I'm going to sign off and tell you guys bye. So if you guys want to hop off while I'm running and letting the dog out, feel free. Good night. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Come on. Kathy, I'm bringing a dress on just for you. Okay. So if you wanted to do a mind map and do like a baby doll dress, if you wanted to do like a princess inspired dress, if you wanted to copy like a Disney princess, then you could do, probably not with this dress, but like let's pretend Cinderella. Obviously this is pink and I know Cinderella isn't pink. But if you wanted to do Cinderella, you could do the sheer portion up here in that Cinderella blue. You could do a black choker collar, choker necklace. And then you could even do like butterflies on the skirt. I don't know how well that would score in Baton World, but it might. You could do butterflies on the sleeves. When you do lace, you could add butterflies, onto your lace detail. Jessica Lennox, hi. Okay, so Jessica, this is going to be on replay. I'm also going to probably have to refilm this for YouTube. Thank you, Kathy. But yeah, if you wanted to, so like I'm just going to use Cinderella as an example. If you wanted to do Cinderella, you could do a blue baby doll dress. You could do, you know, like a sheer stretch mesh up here. If you could find one that had like sparkles to it, that would be really, really pretty. You could add your lace details, add some butterflies, because when I think of Cinderella, especially like the newer real life movie, there was like a lot of like butterfly stuff on there. You could do, if you wanted for shoes, you could do like the glass slipper for the shoes. So like the clear heels, but child size. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I forgot she has a Cinderella. She has a Cinderella inspired dress. So yeah. So you could do, it has butterflies. It has butterflies on it. So you can take this and it absolutely can be done in a dress too. For me to explain tonight, I felt like it was easier to use a theme like the Disney cruise, use the theme and put it all together because I've already got an outfit. So I can essentially show you from start to finish. So you absolutely do not need to do it as an OOC. It just was easier. Jessica, if you want, you can message her with it. Just don't put it in the group because that was not one of like the patterns for the group. But yeah, thank you. If you want to share that with her for inspiration. I know yours is a gown, but essentially it could be made like a baby doll style. And her kid competes in baton and is way younger. So you don't have to worry about like the copying end of it because her kid doesn't even do pageants. She does baton pageants. But Jessica, just to catch you up, so we did the Disney cruise outfit. You can watch this on replay, but just real quick recap. This is a mind map. I took Disney cruise, and then each circle, like when you were in school, or like I know you write books, so I'm sure you do this for when you write your books. Each circle has its own category, and you put like things in the category. So like when I think of a Disney cruise ship, logo, potholes, pinstriping on the boat, and smokestacks was supposed to be on there, but I forgot to print out the word smokestacks. So we're going to pretend smokestacks is on there. And then when I think of a Disney cruise, I also think of the characters. So Chip, Dale, Minnie, Mickey, Goofy, Donald, Daisy. And the colors of the boat are red, white, and blue. And then when I think of a cruise, you think of captain or sailor. So when I think of a captain or a sailor, as far as like outfits go, baby doll dress, which would give me the most coverage on a shirt or on the skirt portion of it to portray my idea. So a baby doll dress, and then a sailor collar. There's a sailor collar here. Sailor shorts. Hold on, finding my picture. Sailor shorts, but if I make it a baby doll, then you cover the shorts. So what do? I make the skirt tearaway to reveal the shorts. So we have tearaway skirt. So then I looked at the details of the cruise ship, and we, starting from the bottom, have navy on the bottom with gold pinstriping, and then the middle is white, and then your smokestacks are red. So if you look at the dress, we have navy under ruffles with gold stitching. And then for the pinstriping, like on the boat, I tried to match the pinstriping of the boat with this gold trim here. And then the portholes have the characters in it. Just like if you go when you go on a Disney cruise, if you are in an interior room, you get a picture with the portholes, you get a picture with the characters in your porthole. And then I put fabric ideas on there, ribbon ideas, the logo, the trim, the characters, and then I did want to put the steering wheel. I didn't end up doing, obviously. The steering wheel, my idea for the steering wheel was here, but because the fabric had the steering wheels on there, I decided to go with like a front-facing cruise ship so that you could see that pinstriping that mimics this pinstriping here. Thank you. Okay, so does that make sense how that works? And then Jessica, did you get the planner? Did you end up getting the planner? Because all this is in the planner. So this is the planner that I released, last week? So this is the planner. There are two different planners that you can get. You can get the Pageant Sewing Planner, or there's also the Sewing Business Planner that comes with the Pageant Sewing Planner. And then there's the Business Sewing Planner, 19 additional pages with it. So you don't need to buy both. Thank you, Julie. Okay, so that's how all that works. So you guys, your homework is to take your mind map, take your mood board, and take your croquis, and you're going to draw out using these I guess 4 pages, because those are 2 pages. But you're going to take these pages and put your ideas on paper, and then take a picture and post it in the group, and I am giving prizes. Who's excited for prizes? If you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and hop off here because my dinner is beyond cold. We did Uber Eats tonight again. And my dinner got here at like 8 o'clock, or like 7:30, and I was running around like crazy. So I didn't get to eat before I went live. So I'm going to hop off here if you guys don't have any questions. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me until 10:30. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Good night, Julie. I will see you later. I can't wait to see your homework assignment. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.